in that sense, they
Come.
is saying those names should have.
Thank you so much, sir.
Akash Agrawal.
You are Akash?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sit down. Just give us a minute because they had given some other name. And
He can introduce himself.
yeah, just introduce yourself. You are an electrical engineer.
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself in 30 seconds.
Sir, my name is Akash Agrawal. I was born and brought up in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, and the majority of my schooling has happened in a Christian missionary boys school called Campion School, Bhopal. From there on, I went on to do my graduation. I've done my electrical engineering from YMCA University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. And since completing my graduation, I've been preparing for the civil services.
What does Campion mean? Campion?
Sir, it is named after a Christian Jesuit saint called Sir Edmund Campion.
Hmm.
So it was his name, sir.
So why do you say Christian Jesuit?
Sir, because it is named after Jesus, sir. So Jesuit is derived from that name, sir.
Hmm. So all Christians are followers of Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Why this particular one calls himself Jesuit?
No, sir, it is just an adjective attached to someone who follows the Christian missionary path.
Hmm. Yeah, but they have different names, isn't it, in Christianity also?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, your first choice is the administrative service,
That's right, sir.
and the just let me go through it. And the Indian police is number 2 and foreign is number 3.
Right, sir.
So what do you think in the initial years after training, the job of an IAS officer is, and what will you be doing?
Sir, during my training years, I suppose...
Training is over.
All right, sir. So, sir, initially, the first joining, as I have read, is of the sub-divisional magistrate, and supposedly, sir, and it is supposed to be under the DM, and hence, my job will be to have the basic idea of how the administration works and use my experience of what I had learned during my training days, sir.
In training, you don't have any experience, you just have knowledge. Is that correct?
Sir, as far as I am aware, even the trainees are exposed to ground experience, and they are exposed to the job of the block development
No,
officer.
that's part of the educational process.
Okay, sir.
You're not actually, I mean, you may be doing something. But so what really is the job of a subdivision SDM?
Sir, the primary job is as far as the revenue matters are concerned, and within that subdivision, it is the job of the SDM to ensure the smooth functioning and collection of the revenue in that subdivision. And apart from that, he also has magisterial powers. And
So what are the magisterial powers, under which act?
sir, it is under CRPC section 144, sir.
And
That is all I am
anything
aware.
else?
I am sorry, sir, I cannot recall right now.
You don't have to be sorry, but you feel that's the only one, section 1. What is section 144?
Sir, it is an act which gives the power to the DM to make sure that the law and order is smooth, and hence it allows them to impose restriction on collective gathering of people, sir, commonly known as curfew.
That's the only thing you can do, collective gathering of people.
Yes, sir.
So the law says that, the section says that you can order the prohibition of large number of people. That's all that it says? Or have you read section 144?
Not really, sir. That is what I am aware of right now. I am sorry.
how are you aware of if you have not read it?
Sir, in the newspaper articles that I have come across,
Hmm?
the newspaper articles that I have come across that have talked about Section 144.
But you have not read the section
No, sir.
per se
Yes, sir.
itself. Okay. What are your other interests? I mean, are you you had the subject you mentioned was what? What did you take for the exam?
Sir, political science and
So
international
what
relations.
are you interested in? Political science is a vast subject, from theory to politics to constitutional. What is your main interest?
Sir, my main interest is in political philosophy as well as in international relations.
So practically everything.
Uh,
What exactly? Who are your favorite philosophers?
Sir, when it comes to political philosophy, I like, sir, the views of Machiavelli as well as that of Hobbes and Hannah Arendt.
So where was this Machiavelli from, and what did he say?
Sir, he was from Italy around the 15th century period, sir. He was from Italy, sir, and it was he was around the 15th century period. And sir, his major views revolved around nationalism and initiating
What are the books that he wrote?
Sir, The Prince is one, and I'm sorry, I'm unable to recall, but there was another book that
Okay.
I had read about.
So that takes care of the philosopher. And then in international relations, what is your main interest?
Sir, it is with respect to the contemporary happenings which are happening.
Achha, what are the contemporary things which are happening?
Sir, it is India's increasing inclination and partnership with the United States, meanwhile balancing the Russian partnership, as well as with the events that are happening in the current times, whether it is the Israel-Hamas conflict or the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
So India is having more relations both with the United States and with Russia. So what's so strange about it?
Sir, in the initial years after our independence, the relationship was more tilted towards the Russian side, the former USSR, and the relationship with the United States was not as pronounced as it is in the present times.
Why do you say that? In what manner was it more with Russia and less with the United States?
Sir, it was both ideologically as well as economically, sir, because as a newly independent country, we were much more inclined towards the socialistic idea of economy as well as that of polity.
But India was an agricultural economy, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, sir.
And what was happening to increase agriculture in India? I mean, from where are you getting the knowledge?
I'm sorry, sir, I could not
What
get
were
it.
the agricultural universities? Who started it in India?
The study with respect to agriculture? Sir,
Who started agricultural revolution in India? From where did you get all the scientific knowledge to teach people? Or
yes,
was
sir,
it
it
more
was.
from Russia or from the United States?
No, sir, the technology aspect was from Russia, certainly.
Russia?
I am sorry, sir, I mispronounced, sir.
Hmm.
It was from the United
And
States.
what about the huge quantities of wheat? From where did it come?
Yes, sir, it did come from the United States, but the quality of wheat that was imported from there under the PL 480 scheme, as well as with the political signaling that came along with that import, was not.
The quality was bad,
Yes, sir.
but people were eating it. I mean, it was filling your stomach, wasn't it?
Yes,
What was
sir.
bad about it?
Sir,
Did you have that particular?
not really, sir, but as.
You read about it somewhere.
Yes, sir, I have read about it that
It was bad.
yes, sir, the stale grains which were supposedly meant to be fed to the pigs, that was exported.
Okay, thank you very much.
So P in PL 480 stands for pigs or what?
No, sir.
No, it doesn't.
No, sir.
It doesn't. Okay. What is your view on this latest Supreme Court judgment on electoral bonds? Your personal view, We are allowed to criticize a judgment, we are allowed to support a judgment without being in contempt of court.
Sure, sir. Sir, I believe that the anonymity aspect that was accompanying the electoral bond scheme, either it had to be rectified by the legislature, or in its present form, sir, the fact that the donors were anonymous as far as the election commission is concerned. So, as the Supreme Court has mentioned that it was violating the right to information of the voters of this country, and hence, sir, it has been declared unconstitutional.
So, what are your suggestions to improve the election funding in India? If electoral bonds were at least one way of inducting white money into the election process.
Yes, sir.
All right, what you said is all right about anonymity. But then the other way of funding is all anonymous. How do you improve transparency? How do you improve funding of the election process?
Yes, sir, I agree that the electoral bond scheme was introduced so as to reduce the other channels of funding which were not bringing in the white money, and there was prevalence of cash. But sir, I feel that the present electoral bond scheme can be modified, and the anonymity aspect can be reduced, sir. And the other thing can be, sir, the state funding of election, at least.
How the state should fund? State will have to generate funds, no?
Yes, sir. Sir, but the election expenditure is not as huge as the current.
The official election expenditure is not as huge.
Yes, sir.
But unofficially it is. My point is, how does the state generate these funds? What are your suggestions? You also have said that electoral bonds, by removing anonymity, can improve funding.
Yes, sir. So, sir, we can ensure that there is a mechanism that whoever is donating to the political parties via the electoral bonds, their names can be disclosed, sir, to the election commission at least.
What if I suggest to you that the parties, the entities buying those electoral bonds, they submit it to election commission. The election commission becomes the owner of those electoral bonds.
Yes, sir, that can be one way of the state funding that you are talking, that I was talking about.
So that brings us to the next question. How should the election commission then distribute these funds? What would be the mechanism that you think of, that you can think of?
Sir, it has to be a...
If the electoral bonds go to the election commission, what is the mechanism that it should adopt to distribute these funds?
Sir, it can be a weighted criteria where one of the criteria can be the number of votes secured in the previous elections, and there can be there should be, I feel, that another aspect where funding to independent candidates as well as smaller parties is also there, so that the young India is not discouraged from coming into and participating in the election process, sir.
Not the number of seats.
Yes, sir.
You said percentage of votes.
Yes, sir.
Not the number of seats.
Sir, given that we have the first past the post system, having a distribution with respect to number of votes will be much more equitable. That's what I feel, sir.
Okay. And given what is likely to happen in Madhya Pradesh, what are your views on anti-defection law?
Sir, I feel that I might be forgetting the Law Commission, but I think it was the 266th Law Commission report, which said that the defectors should be disqualified for the rest of the assembly term, sir, at least for the 5-year term. That will dissuade, sir, defections.
Okay. Why do you think people buy bonds?
electoral bonds? Why you think they buy electoral bonds?
Sir, they contribute to the political parties so as to strengthen the Indian democracy, sir.
Are you sure that bonds are given to political parties to strengthen institution of Indian democracy,
Yes, sir, that's
or
what
the motive is something else? What is the motive? Is it strengthening democracy or is it something else?
Sir, it is to enable the parties to have a better funding mechanism so as to give a better fight in the election.
So people who are giving these bonds are not seeking influence.
Sir, that is what is alleged sometimes, but it cannot be said with certainty, sir.
So you think people who are funding political parties are honestly trying to strengthen democracy rather than buy influence? I'm now using the word buy influence.
Sir, I feel that yes, there is an aspect where they want to strengthen the democracy, sir, because we have seen firms which are funding across the party lines.
Bulk of these bonds are of the cost above 1 crore.
Yes, sir.
And you think people are giving these bonds of at least 1 crore or multiple bonds of crores to strengthen democracy and not buy influence?
Sir, it is tough for me to pass a judgment why they are doing so, but at least the legal aspect is that they are contributing to the political parties so as to enable them to have a better chance. And I would not use the term by buying the political parties, but sir.
Not buying the political parties, I said buying influence.
Yes, sir. I apologize, sir. I would not like to give it the term of buying influence, but sir, various political parties in their manifestos support different kind of policies. So, if a certain firm aligns with the policies of that political parties, and if they feel that if a certain political party coming to power will enable policies that will help them grow, so in that case they will contribute to that, sir.
How do you motivate people? Since you have written somewhere that you also love to do motivation.
Yes, sir.
So what are the skills one needs to motivate people?
Sir, first I feel is the emotional intelligence and trying to understand what kind of people I have to motivate. I read this elaboration likelihood model in ethics, where if I come across someone who is much more aware about that subject, I'll have to use data and facts so as to convince him or her. But on the other hand, if I am speaking to a layman or someone who is slightly less educated in the facts and figures of that particular field.
But if you're dealing with the taboo areas, taboo
Yes.
subjects of menstrual pain, for example,
Yes, sir.
you would organize some event.
Yes, sir.
What were your challenges in motivating people to participate in that event and attend that event?
Sir, the initial challenge was to bring in boys, sir, because they feel that it is not their problem, sir, and we have to make sure that we had a tent around the apparatus that we had put in there, so as to give them the privacy and at least.
So you segregated men and women audience?
No, sir.
And participants?
But we segregated the participants with the rest of the college crowd so as to give them the privacy that they wanted during the experience, sir.
You said your philosophers of your choice was also Hannah Arendt
Yes, sir.
on revolution.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is her basic thesis about revolution? What is revolution?
Sir, she feels that she has stressed a lot on participation of the common people, what she calls vita activa, where people are participating in consonance with each other, and so as to build the public sphere and make sure that it still remains relevant so as to defeat totalitarianism.
What is the difference between power over people and power with people?
Sir, power over people is exercised by outside authority over the people. It is the exploitative power. But power with the people is the power that people exercise when they act in concert with each other.
What is authoritarian democracy and what is majoritarian democracy? How do we differentiate?
Sir, authoritarian democracy can be considered as a democracy which works on the principle which only considers the majority views and leaving aside the other minority aspects and their views.
My last question to you, there is this new vision which has recently come out, is to describe or select certain civil servants and describe them as karma yogis. Do you agree with that vision, or first of all, what is that vision and do you agree with this?
Sir, the vision is that to have civil servants who can work along, who can train and improve while working simultaneously, and they can have a role-based, not rule-based working profile, where the end of the public welfare is kept in mind rather than the having fixation with the rules and laws, sir.
All that you said so far, civil servants are not doing all this before?
Sir, they were doing, but if earlier the focus was more on enforcing the rules, but now with the emerging technology and given that the challenges are evolving very quickly, we have to make sure that the rules are also evolving as quickly as the surroundings, and we also have to make sure that rules do not hinder the path of justice.
Thank you.
So it seems that you are a good painter.
Yes,
So
sir.
what is cubism?
Sir, Cubism was a school of painting introduced by Pablo Picasso.
And one more? There was one more person.
I'm sorry, sir.
Which century?
Sir, it was introduced in 18th century, sir.
18th century.
That's what I can recall right now, sir.
All right. What is cubism?
Sir, so Cubism was a school of painting in which Pablo Picasso tried to paint and draw the real life figures in the shape of geometrical patterns.
And how it was different than the earlier styles of painting?
Sir, the earlier styles of painting were realistic, and my face would be drawn in the exact dimensions that my face is right now, whereas in the Pablo Picasso's Cubism style, he might draw my face as a full circle or an oval or a square also. So he used to use geometrical patterns to draw shapes.
So Rousseau, he was a big time critic of art. He said art, science, literature has brought ruins to the society. What are your views on this?
Sir,
He specifically criticized arts as well. Painting is an art. Your views?
I'm sorry, sir, I'll have to read on this.
All right. So you have mentioned Hannah Arendt as one of your favorite philosophers.
Yes, sir.
So she, have you read her book on human condition?
Sir, I've read the essence of that book, but I haven't read the book as such.
What is human condition for her?
Sir, human condition is participation in the public sphere.
No, that is not human condition. Are you sure?
Yes, sir. She differentiates between the thinking aspect and the acting aspect of humans. So when humans are thinking of doing something, that is vita contemplativa, that she says.
It's all theoretical things
Yes,
which you have read in notes, you are saying.
Yes, sir.
What are your views on it? What is human condition?
Sir, in my views, human condition is to maximize the potential of our being, sir.
All right. So Hannah Arendt, what were her views on totalitarianism?
Sir,
Define totalitarianism first.
Sir, in the words of Hannah Arendt, totalitarianism is totalitarianism. There is no other word which can be used to define totalitarianism as such, because of the massive brutality.
No, I am not asking you to replace totalitarianism with some other word. Define totalitarianism.
Sir, totalitarianism is an ideology which believes that there is a regimented society which has to be controlled from the top, and where there cannot be any rights and there have to be duties.
She mentions about some trial. Are you aware about
Yes,
trial?
sir. Sir, she has talked about the Eichmann's trial in Jerusalem.
So what is banality of evil?
Sir, she says that banality of evil is when evil seems to appear normal, and when people participate in it, when people appreciate it and think that it is something that is normal, they don't even think of it as an evil.
So what were her views on that trial? Did she support the Eichmann?
Yes,
Who was
sir.
he? Who was he?
Sir, he was a bureaucrat during the Hitler's time when atrocities were committed on Jews, and she said that it was not the fault of Eichmann, rather it was the fault of the system which brought him up, and where he thought that just to perform his duty was.
Let me cut you short. Sorry.
Sure.
So Eichmann said that I was just following the orders. I
Yes.
am not guilty.
Yes, sir.
I was just following the orders given by my seniors and by the leader. Right?
Yes, sir.
So as a civil servant, what are your views on it? He was asked to kill the people. And he said, I wanted promotion, and I was just, because of that, I was just following the orders.
Yes, sir.
Will you do the same?
Sir, I'll have to weigh in those orders in the light of the constitutional values, as well as the values which
At
are.
the cost of your promotion?
Sir, promotion is not even a factor when it comes to killing people or following the constitutional values. Promotion is something that will come across the way if I perform my duty well, sir.
So then why did Hannah Arendt supported him?
Sir, she did
She
not.
said he was right?
As far as I am aware, sir, she did not support him, but she did not tell that it was his fault. She told that it was the fault of the system that brought him up, that eliminated that rationality in him, where he was unable to differentiate between what was right and wrong.
What is difference between thinking and doing?
Sir,
She criticized him for not using his thinking abilities. She did not criticize the system per se. What is thinking and doing?
Sir, thinking is by using your rationality to differentiate between the right and the wrong, and accordingly doing it, rather than just following something in words. Rather than we should focus on words as well as I'm sorry, sir, I need a couple of seconds to rephrase it. Sir, the essence behind the words is what is much more important rather than the words per se. So she told that while rules are okay, but they should be subjected to the man's rationality, and accordingly action has to be taken.
All right, my last question to you. There was one famous industry in Satna district of Madhya Pradesh,
Okay.
and it suddenly vanished. Which was that industry?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Are you aware about Atlas cycle?
Yes, sir.
So why it vanished?
Sir, I'll have to read about it, sir.
Thank you.
So, the formal part of your interview is over.